The sweeper. Never even heard anything like that. I'm going live now.
Okay.
All right.
Yo.
What's up, guys? Tuesday, a lot of MLB. Tuesdays are always great for MLB. If you watched last night's video, you already have seen most of our notes. So this is going to be pretty quick. We're just looking at some line movement, maybe going over a couple extra things we may have found today. So we'll start at the first game. Let's stop bullshitting. Rockies at Cleveland. Like I said last night, I like the kid Battenfield. But here's the problem. I was waiting for Colorado first 5 team total under to open, and it opened at a way more expensive price than I thought. It's actually minus 130 to bet Colorado first 5 team total under 1.5. Yeah, that I can't do that. But if you check out the pie chart here, let me make it bigger real quick. Everyone's betting Cleveland, but if you look, everyone hammered Cleveland early. So this morning, it doesn't look like there's a ton of action coming in on Cleveland, staying pretty even. In fact, look at the last couple hours. Actually, some money coming in on Colorado.
There's an echo.
There is?
Yeah.
All right. I know what to do. I just muted you, so there won't be an echo now. Hopefully that fixed it. We can actually figure this out right now. Turn the TV up.
So people not hear me?
No, I'll just unmute you when it's your turn to talk. I just muted you, so there won't be an echo now. Okay. So we'll just have to take turns talking. I'll figure out how to fix that. We've never done a live. He's sitting right there. We've never done it in the same room before, so that's why we're struggling with that. But anyway, so the price that did drop though, I said last night that I thought Cleveland first 5 minus a half run wasn't bad. Dropped from minus 130. You can get it at minus 125 now. So this didn't make the ticket. I'm not going to kill you to tail me on this, but I think this is the best way to go in this game. Like I said, this is just a fade of the Rockies bats on the road and a fade of the Rockies bats against right-handed pitching on the road too. So let me switch the mics up. Let me unmute him, and then I'll mute me.
Yeah, so as far as this game goes, obviously I'd be leaning Cleveland, but the prices we have to pay for backing a team that's not playing well right now is just too absurd for me. Even at the first 5 run line, if we have to pay minus 125, that's not very enticing to me, especially with a rookie. You never know, they can implode at any second. So yeah, I would just rather pass on this one. I don't see a ton of value.
All right, so we're passing, so then I got to go mute you again. That's annoying. We'll have to fix that for next time. All right, so Corey Kluber pitching against Kyle Bradish. I believe last night last night I said over or pass in this one. Actually, it was AJ's notes for this one. He said the over's gone. It's gone over 6 of their last 8 matchups, and 4 of those 8 had gone over 15 runs. But I'm a little worried because everyone's betting the over here. Actions all over the over, and it does move up to 9 for a little bit, then it drops back down to 8.5. So it just feels a little square for me. I'll say over or pass, but it's really closer to a pass for me. So over or pass. You're unmuted.
All right, yeah, so as far as this one goes, I'm going to ultimately decide to pass here. My original lean was the over at 8.5. Especially with the high scoring history that this matchup tends to have. But the issue is that line movement, it's very weird. All the action on the over, moving down. On top of that, Bradish has looked really, really good thus far. And Corey Kluber's looked downright terrible. But I feel like with that man, it's when you doubt him most that he proves you wrong. So get off that. Gonna pass.
This comment right here. Kluber will turn into Cy Young tonight. I was trying to explain that I like Kluber to pitch well tonight, but the thing is, I have no numbers to back that up. Like, he has been so bad, and if he's just truly lost it, if he just doesn't have the stuff anymore, then it's really a bold prediction to make. But I wouldn't be surprised if Kluber pitches well tonight. I'll say that. Yeah, Steven Harrison, I think Kluber has the game as well. So we're kind of a few of us feeling like that. Next up is Dodgers at Pirates. I like the Pirates here. Pirates money line. It's not like plus 105 last I looked, right? Plus 105?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'll put plus 105. I also like the over, but I'm going to let him talk about the over because that's more his thing. So if you check this out, the pie chart's right here. It's a pros versus public look here. Public's all over LA here. Sharp action in on the Pirates. I love it. Pirates were plus 10 underdogs at 4 a.m. this morning. Now they're minus 105. Oh, it's minus 105, not plus 105. Whatever, you get it. Line moved a little bit towards the Pirates in reaction to that sharp money. I think we can all agree that we think the Pirates lineup will get to Syndergaard. Not only has he not been great, but he's just on the road, it's even worse. The part that's a little more up in the air is Oviedo, because he's been so good, but the Dodgers lineup is starting to heat up against right-handed pitching. So, I mean, this could be a spot where he falls off a little bit, despite being so good recently. But yeah, so I'm on the Pirates, and I'm also going to play the over. Let me hold on. Let me unmute you. Go ahead.
I'm on the Pirates and the over here. I think Syndergaard's going to get hit up. He's about to face a lineup of about 5 to 6 lefties, and against lefties, he's rocking a insane 399 WOBA. Very, very bad. The last time they saw him was actually last year, and he was at home. What happened? He gave up 7 runs through 2 innings, and a lot of that lineup still remains. Adding that he's worse on the road and the live movement on Pittsburgh's team totals, and I'm pretty confident that Pittsburgh's going to put up some runs here. On the other side, we got Oviedo. He's looked excellent thus far. No taking anything away from him, but one thing I do have to say is, who has he faced? Last 3 starts was against the White Sox, the Rockies, and the Cardinals, all bottom 10 offenses against right-handed pitching as of late. The Dodgers are top 5. And I think he's due to give up a few runs here to a hot lineup. Ultimately, what gets me to the Pirates is that bullpen edge. Pirates have consistently performed like a top 12 unit. The Dodgers have consistently performed like a bottom 5 unit. So that's what gives me the edge for the Pirates there. And I also think some late mishaps from the Dodgers bullpen will lift us over the total. So, like both of those bets.
Yeah, I'm with you on the over as well. So Pirates and over both ways. Next, Houston at Tampa. Man, they are begging me to take the Astros here. Look at this. Hold on. Let's pull up here. Let's pull up these pie charts, make them big. You can get the Houston Astros right now at a plus 170 price on Caesars. Plus 170 for the Houston Astros. I want to do it so bad, but it looks like Yordan Alvarez isn't going to play. Actually, he was mentioning that Yordan Alvarez actually flew back to Houston with his neck soreness. So it looks like he might be done for the... Actually, they can fly him back and forth pretty quickly, so who knows. But I would imagine he's sitting out again. The only reason I'm not on Houston here is, does it not look like the books are begging us to bet the Astros? Plus 170? It just seems like... I hate when I'm making a play that it feels like the books... I'm doing exactly what the odds makers want me to do. And that's what it feels like at this plus 170 price. So this is most definitely a stay away. Scares the shit out of me. Let me unmute you real quick.
Yeah, I mean, we stood away on the ticket. Ultimately, if I had to pick a side, I gotta rock with Houston, even without Alvarez, just simply in terms of the price. But yeah, what's making me scared here is that that line movement. It just keeps on going, and Alvarez hasn't even been officially announced out yet. So when he gets announced out, I imagine there may be even more line movement. So it's just not something I'm trying to back. I would love to take the Astros, I really would, but ultimately, I think we'll just keep those half units in the pocket and move on to the next one.
Yeah, I mean, this if Alvarez is ruled out, I'm curious what the line does. I might go back and see if we can get it at like plus 190, because that would just be crazy. Let's move on to the next one. Mariners at Phillies. This one got screwed up. I don't know if you watched last night's video. I said I loved Phillies' first 5 money line, and I did. Logan Gilbert scratched. So it says his name on the graphic on the left. He's not pitching anymore. It's Marco Gonzalez, and that changes everything. Not only did the price completely flip, because now the Phillies' first 5 money lines at like minus 145. So not only did the price completely flip, but now we're dealing with the Phillies lineup against a left-handed starter, which again changes everything. I don't trust this Phillies lineup nearly as much against lefties as I do against righties. So unfortunately, my beautiful Phillies first 5 money line plus 105 that I loved has been flushed down the toilet and no longer exists. I mean, I would actually lean Seattle here now, but I'm probably not going to play it. But that's where I would have to go. If I was forced to pick a side, I'm just going to put Seattle or pass. I won't back the Phillies with that bullpen, even though AJ and Toast are trying to tell me that the Phillies bullpen is secretly doing well. I don't buy it.
Yeah.
You're unmuted.
Yeah, so over the last 7 days, the Phillies bullpen's actually like top 3 in almost every single category, shutting out games quite successfully. But yeah, I don't really have a play on this one. Don't really know how to read Marco Gonzalez coming off that great performance against the Brewers. And on top of that, I don't really love the price here. If there was a spot, I would back Philly, but I don't know. I think I'm good with passing here.
Toast just said that Alvarez is not in Tampa. He's out 100%, which we suspected. So, all right, next game, Paris versus the Reds. Man, I want to bet this over so bad. You know what? I do. We ended up putting this on the ticket. We are on the over here. One sec. So this was over 9.5. I forget what the odds were. It was. Oh, yeah, that's right. Plus 100. I went back and forth. At first, I was going to bet the Rangers team total over because they just keep hitting it. And actually, he has some numbers on the Rangers team total over. Or the Rangers full game over has been hitting a lot. He has a number on that. But then I was looking at the Reds team total over too. And then I was like, you know what? Just fuck it. 9.5. I'll play the full game over because I like both lineups. I think Martin Perez has seriously inflated numbers. And I'm happy to fade him. But I'll switch it over to him. Let him talk. I just unmuted you.
Yeah, that's actually a good point by JD. The Phillies bullpen did face the Rockies bats in the last week, so you're always going to blank those scrubs. Yeah, I like the over here too as well. It's a bit square, not going to lie, but I mean, it's hard to pass this value up. Last 11 of 15 Rangers games have gone over this total, averaging 11.5 total runs. Meanwhile, the last 7 to 10 games at Cincy have gone over this mark, averaging 12 total runs. So I think this is a match made in heaven for us over bettors. It only gets better when you realize that a lefty's on the mound for the Rangers. The Reds are top 6 against lefties through the first 5 at home thus far, and the 5 lefties to visit Cincy own a combined 8.1 ERA, 2.3 home run per 9, and a 1.9 whip. Perez's WOBA is above 360. That is suggesting much worse numbers than what his ERA is showing thus far. And on the other side, we got Luke Weaver, who started off terribly in his first start this season, allowing 4 runs in the first inning, but he bounced back for the next 5. The issue is that type of exploitability, the fact that he could just blow up at any point, that's dangerous against a Texas lineup that's first in WRC Plus over the last week with 177. That is 25 more points than the Tampa Bay Rays, who are in first place right now. So this lineup's hot. Weaver was a mess at home in 2022, and I just think that honestly, the over here is just a fantastic play. So not gonna pass that up.
Definitely agree. Perez numbers 100% agree on that. White Sox at Blue Jays. I didn't end up putting this one on the ticket, but I want to glance at the under. The problem is it's tough taking it under with 2 bullpens like this because it's really tough to rely on these 2 bullpens. Let me just get an odds on that. Ooh, under 9 at minus 105, so it dropped a half run. There we go. Put that up. So nothing really to go by the pie charts here. I'll blow this up. Public is leaning Toronto as we thought it would be, though. Jose Berry's at home, a lot more reliable. And then you got the White Sox on the road against righties, which I said last night. They're like 25th again in the last 2 weeks. They're like 25th against righties, 27th on the road. So just a little combination terrible spot for the White Sox there. And then also Berrios at home, like I said. I do like Clevenger. But the reason I can't get on Toronto is they're just priced way too heavily here. Especially, I think he was telling me earlier that Jose Berrios, I believe, actually got lit up by the White Sox at home last year, right? Weren't you telling me that?
It was actually 2021 when he first came with the team, but yeah, he got sparked.
Yeah, so I like the under. I don't know if I might bet this personally. It didn't make the final ticket, but I think I'm going to put a few dollars on this personally, on this under. You have anything to say on this one? I'll mute myself.
Yeah, so I feel the same way. Well, no, I actually feel a different way. Sorry about that. I feel the same way in the fact that I wouldn't put anything on the ticket, actually, but I do like a side here. And I would, if I had to go with a side here, it'd be the Chicago White Sox first 5. I think that's coming in at about plus 180. I would just take the chance here because, yes, while Berrios is better at home, the guy has horrendous history against the White Sox. He has lost 4 straight starts with an 0-4 record, 7.2 ERA, 3.2 home runs allowed per 9, and 2 of those were at home. I know Clevenger's been a bit shaky recently, but he has decent numbers against Toronto, and he has decent numbers against righties as well. So I just feel like at this price, it just seems way off in my eyes, especially with how I don't know what word it is, but essentially Berrios can explode at any single time. He's very implodable. Not a guy I trust. So if I had to just play a pure value there, it'd be the White Sox in the first 5.
Was not expecting that. White Sox first 5. What is that price at? Plus 140?
Yeah. No, plus 180, dude.
Wow. On the first 5? Holy shit.
Yeah.
Wow. That's a hell of a lean there. I can't get there because I'm actually feeling the opposite. But all right, next. Nats at Mets. Last night when we recorded the video, there was no line for this one. It's up now. So check this out. Washington Nationals first 5 plus a half run plus 105. All right, so I am going to I'm rolling with Josiah Gray on the road here, and I'm going to walk through some red flags. Here are the red flags I'm walking through to make this bet. Number 1, the Mets have been savage against right-handed pitching. They're 3rd in the MLB in the last 2 weeks. They've also been solid on the road. 8th in the MLB in the last 2 weeks on the road. Also, the Mets lineup has amazing numbers against Josiah Gray. As a full lineup, career, 390 batting average, 1393 OPS. They've killed this guy. But that still doesn't take away from the fact that Josiah Gray was great on the road last year. He's been really good in both his road starts this year. And the Mets have a guy making his 3rd career start on the mound. You can say what you want about the numbers, but the truth is this is the best the Nats have. They have their ace on the mound against a guy making his 3rd career start, and we can get a half run at plus money. So I'm taking it. Also, it's the Mets. They can choke.
So if you know me from last year, you know I love Josiah Gray. Huge Josiah Gray guy. But I was talking to Toast, and it's impossible to bet the Nats when he's on the mound, and I'll tell you why. Yeah, guess how many runs the Nats have through Josiah Gray's 4 starts thus far? 1. They have 1 run through 4 starts, so that's good. Unless the Mets are getting shut out through the first 5, then I don't know. I don't see it. I'm good off this game. If anything, I would probably, even with freaking Buddha on the mound, maybe even consider a double result. This Nats team is truly terrible. Pass. I love Gray, but they just don't bat for my guy. It's disrespectful.
I know. They just never. 1 combined run in 4 starts is absolutely nuts. All right. Next game. Marlins at Braves. This one kind of sucks. I mean, I'll pull this up. Definitely a pros versus public look as far as the action goes. Public all over the Braves here. Sharp action all over the Marlins. And the line did react. This opened at Atlanta minus 250. It's down to Atlanta minus 235. So a little bit of movement there. Do I have the balls to bet Miami? No, I don't. But like I said last night, the truth is I really just don't know anything about this guy, Brian Hoeing, the guy pitching for the Marlins. Sharp action's on Miami, so maybe some of the heavy hitters got a read on this guy. I don't know enough about him to give a bet out for this game, though.
Yeah, when Hoeing was in the majors last year, he mainly served as a reliever, but he also got a start. And to put it candidly, he was like absolutely terrible. Like an ERA above 10, like a WOBA above 400. He's not good. The only start he made was against the Dodgers. He let up 7 runs through 3 innings of work. We tried going sharp with the Marlins yesterday with Edward Cabrera on the mound, and even he got rocked. So
did not work.
Yeah, I don't really think that this man has what it takes to keep those Braves bats in check. And then Charlie Morton at home against a large group of righties is kind of his best spot. So I would just ultimately pass there. I didn't look at what Charlie Morton is to record a win, but that's pretty tempting if it's anything below minus 115.
I personally don't like Charlie Morton, so I would not get behind that. I think he's a fraud. He pitched a couple good playoff games, and people just mistake him for a good pitcher. He sucks. Next. Uh, that was harsh. That was harsh. If you're a family member of Charlie Morton, my bad. I was just like making a joke. I'm a Mets fan.
Mrs. Morton is in the chat and she's fucking
She's livid. All right. Yankees at Twins. All right, so I swung and missed on this one because last night when I recorded the video that we uploaded late, I said I like the under, but it's at 7. I'm going to wait until action comes in on the over, bumps it up to 7.5, 8, and then I'll bet the under. Well, the total actually dropped. It's now at 6.5. I can't tell you to bet an under at 6.5. That being said, I'm going to do it. Razor sharp here. But like under 6.5, the way this year's MLB has been going is kind of crazy. But just like I said last night, I won't run through all the notes, but to quickly summarize them, you got Joe Ryan at home, the Twins ace, a right-handed pitcher. Yankees have been ass against righties. On the other side, you got Nestor Cortez, who's been great this year, a lefty throwing for the Yankees. Twins have been ass against lefties. Both bullpens have been solid. I mean, I completely understand why this total is so low. I love the under. I just wish we were taking under 8. Do you have anything for this one? I just unmuted you.
Nah, I think really if I had to give a side for this one, it would be the Twins. The issue is that price. Yesterday was a lot more achievable at -115. Now it's getting up to like -130 on some books, which honestly I don't really think has great value because yes, while I think Joe Ryan's going to deal against the Yankees, Nestor Cortez isn't just as good a spot to deal against the Twins considering their struggles against lefties. The only thing I think that really gives Minnesota the edge is Yanks had some pretty heavy bullpen usage yesterday because Brito only went 2 2/3 innings, I believe. And the other factor, I honestly just blanked on. So I've never had that happen before. So we're just rolling Twins or pass here.
All right, Twins or pass. It looks like both Toast and Steven Harrison are down to take shots on this under 6.5 at +100 with me. So let's do it. I mean, it's gonna go crazy when it's 4-4 in the third inning, and I was like, what the fuck was I thinking? But I mean, it's very distinct. All the numbers point to an under bet here, without a doubt. And obviously the sportsbooks agree with that analysis because the total's at 6.5. So yeah, I'm down to play it. I'm a risky motherfucker. Let's move on to the next one. Tigers at Brewers. I'm going to let you take this one because I want to bet the Tigers again. I honestly do. But I know that it's crazy to bet them to win 2 in a row in Milwaukee, especially against a righty. So I'm unmuting you now. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I don't want to bet the Tigers with you, but I do want to back them in some capacity here. So I think the best angle for that is the first 5 over 4.5. I love the spot after that low-scoring affair in Milwaukee last night because the Brewers' bats got completely shut down by Boyd and the Tigers' rolling bullpen. Tigers' bullpen has been top 10 over the last 2 weeks and even top 5 over the last week. And the Brewers suck against left-handed pitching, so I expected them to not put up that many runs there. But against right-handed pitching...
Well, let me stop you. I just went to look at the odds. It's up to 5 now. -105. On all books, too. It's consensus.
Really? Yeah, but at 5, they need to score 6 to cash.
I know.
At 4.5,
it changes everything. It changes everything.
Then I'd have to pass, guys. I'm not gonna just give you some bullshit. Like, I'm not a fraud. So yeah, I'm sorry. I'd like them to score a lot of runs, but like 6. So what are we in cores? I'm sorry. Pass.
Yeah, I mean, and especially in the first 5, that's like the key number. 4.5 to 5. That's tough.
It's just yeah. I like the Tigers to hit the lefties, and I like what is it? I like Turnbull to get lit up today, but I can't be betting 5.
Also, I know you're scared to fade my boy Lauer.
I'm not. That dude's actually a pile of ass.
All right, let's move on to Padres at Cubs, and yo, I'm all in on the Cubbies today, man. I said last night I thought it was super square. But I actually like what I saw in the line movement. Let me pull that up first. We'll start with that. Check it out. So, remember last night I said this line opened up at -110. And when I recorded it was Cubs minus like 113 or something. And I was like, this is super square. The public's going to be all over the Cubs. But look what the line did in response to it. I moved all the way up to -125. And now if you look at the boxes of the pie charts all the way to the left. As you look, it looks like the action's starting to come in on San Diego. So they moved the line and they're getting that balance that they wanted. And what's not happening, it's not dropping back down to Cubs minus 115, minus 120. So that's a good sign. It still feels super square, but that definitely makes me feel a lot better. I am all over the Cubs here. Every single number points to the Cubs. I mean, lefty-lefty matchup. Cubs are 5th against lefties in the last 2 weeks. Padres are 22nd. I mean, and then not just that it's a lefty-lefty matchup. Look at who the lefties are. Justin Steele is a monster right now. He looks great. Looks like an all-star starting pitcher. Blake Snell is... he's Blake Snell. I think Toast likes Snell, actually. Or he used to like him. I don't know. But yeah, it's just everything points to the Cubs here. I love it at minus 125.
Yeah, all over the Cubs. Justin Steele is kind of like my guy that I want to back every time he's on the mound, and we got him at a great price to back him here, minus 120. He's looked unbelievable thus far with a 1.44 ERA and a 200 BABIP. That's just silly. He's now going to face a Padres lineup that allowed the last 4 lefties they've faced to combine for a 1.14 ERA and a 0.97 WHIP. They're getting completely shut down by opposing left-handed pitchers. And the last time the Steel saw them, he dealt for 7 innings, allowing just 1 earned run. I think we see him continue to excel today. On the other side, we got Blake Snell, who's looked quite shaky thus far, and he's looked even shakier on the road. Through 2 road starts, he's posting a heinous 7.27 ERA, a 4.88 WOBA. And he's walking 20% of the batters he faces. That's piss. The Cubs are a top 6 offense against lefties since April 12th and are in a prime spot to bounce back after a rough series. I'm also going to give a slight bullpen advantage to the Cubs. They're well rested. Same with, I know the Padres bullpen's well rested, but I don't think they're quite as talented. And I like the Cubs here. I like me some Cubs baseball.
Yeah, so when I was writing the notes to record last night, I was like, I wanted to talk about how Snell you could fade Snell on the road, and I went to look at his game logs, and it's like, dude, fade this guy at home too. He just sucks.
1, 2, 3, 4 of like Soto, Machado, Tatis. But I was looking at some of Tatis's previous numbers, and it seems that I forget which season it was. I believe it was 2021, 2022. That he was worse against left-handed pitchers. So maybe this isn't exactly his spot. He also hasn't performed up to task thus far, batting just 188.
Yeah, Toast is on the Padres. Of course he is. Of course he is. All right, let's move on to the next one. All right. So next up, Oakland at the Angels. All right, so if you watched last night's video, I said I liked Oakland in this spot. And I wasn't lying. I did. But here's the problem. I recorded that and then came back into this room to we were editing, and then Oakland ended up fucking winning. So now it changes from like, okay, I liked Oakland in this spot to now it's like, do I want to bet Oakland to win 2 in a row on the road? So I'm going to say Oakland or pass. Whether you want to take the plus 1.5 at minus 125, minus 130, whether you want to take the money line at plus 148. I wouldn't bet the Angels here because, like I said last night, I don't trust Griffin Canning at all. I know he had 1 decent home start this year against the Nationals. Congrats on that. Look at this dude's numbers over the last couple of years. You can't trust him. If plus 148 just isn't enough juice for me to jump on the Oakland Athletics to win back-to-back road games. Just not enough. Don't you have a play on a total in this one?
Nope.
Oh, okay.
I'm passing. I like Mason Miller, but I don't like him enough to back him in his second career start against the Angels team coming off a rough loss. The Angels haven't been quite as potent against righties thus far, but if you filter that to at home against righties, they're a much better lineup. Last year, they were significantly better against righties and left-handed pitching, and on top of that, they were much better at home. So just going off last year's number, and I think what it will regress to this year, at home against righties is their best spot. It's Mason Miller's second start. I know he has good K stuff, but the Angels haven't been whiffing at nearly the rate that they were last season. So ultimately, this is just going to be a pass for me. I don't really know too much about Griffin Canning either.
I mean, I just know that he sucks. And he's mids. All right, let's move on to the next one. KC at Arizona. Now, this was one where we kind of backpedaled a little bit because last night, and I agreed with him, this was mostly Prop Beaver's pick, but I was in full agreement. We were all over Arizona. But then we stumbled upon I'm going to say Arizona or pass, but I'm leaning towards pass. We didn't put it on the ticket. So first of all, look at the price. It's up to minus 145 now. When I recorded last night, it was at minus 130. A much more manageable price. That's number one. Number two is he stumbled upon a Ryan Nelson number that was scary, like some kind of WOBA. He'll tell you in 1 second. Sharp action's coming in on the Royals, and the line isn't dropping back down, so that points to Arizona. Personally, what I wrote down to say today is I wouldn't bet Arizona at minus 145, but Arizona moneyline might be a solid parlay piece. If you're a reckless savage that likes to bet parlays, Arizona moneyline at minus 145 might be a good piece for that. But as a straight bet, and I think it's a little bit overpriced. But definitely wouldn't back KC that against a right-handed bat. That's for sure. All right, let me unmute you. All right, go ahead.
I like Jake's comment that the game was nuts and that Waldichuk is Rich Hill Jr. Yeah, Waldichuk could get shelled here and there, dude. I think he's very talented, but God, get him past the 5th inning and you're going to rock him to a different planet. Yeah, so for this one, God, I wish I could take my Diamondbacks. I love backing them at home against a righty, but just going to pass here because Ryan Nelson freaking stinks against lefties. 437 WOBA is just about as atrocious as it gets. And he's going to be facing 6 lefties. As horrendous as the KC bats are against right-handed pitching, that definitely concerns me a bit. And then on the other side, yeah, Brady Singer's looked pretty awful thus far, but he is better against lefties. And the last time you saw Arizona, he was awesome. So I don't want to be the guy that fades Brady Singer after backing him the 3 previous starts, and then he finally looks good. I don't want to be that guy. I'm a Brady Singer guy's guy. I think this is the ultimate pass spot because really what it comes down to is the bullpens. The Diamondbacks used Chafin and somebody else, I think Mago, who I respect yesterday, who I think are 2 of their better arms out of the pen. So that concerns me in the later innings. And if the KC bullpen could just hold on, I can see a KC win. But I think we're 0-5 or 0-4 back in KC in sharp spots this year. So absolutely not. Nope.
Toast wants to know why you're taking shots at Waldichuk. He's taking receipts.
No, I know. I was texting him yesterday about it, and I had repented my sins. I was saying, okay, maybe this Waldichuk guy is good. But Toast, we had that conversation during the 4th inning of the game yesterday. What happened during the 6th inning? The man got rocked into a different century. So he's going to need to show me something here because this guy, I mean, if we're just looking at the counting stats, he's gotten disheveled in 3 or 4 starts thus far. Yeah, just a pass for me.
Sounds good. Last game up. And wait, Manaya's not pitching now. Yeah. So okay. So this graphic's incorrect. It's a bullpen day, correct? Yeah. So I'm gonna let you talk because I got nothing.
Yeah, I mean normally when it's a Giants bullpen day, sign me up for the other side because that bullpen freaking stinks. The issue, however, is that the Cardinals are an embarrassment. And Jake Woodford is not great either. And I just need to emphasize how much of an embarrassment the St. Louis Cardinals are. Wilson Contreras, Paul Goldschmidt, Nolan Arenado cannot put up a single run on Alex Cobb.
The way the Cardinals lost last night was disgusting.
It just showed how little class they have. No interest in backing them. What I do have interest in backing is this Giants lineup against righties because they're smashing them right now. I like the Giants' first 5 team total over 2.5. You get that at plus 105 on PointsBet, and I think that's excellent value. Why? Because Woodford's looked terrible. He's allowed opponents to cash in 3 or 4 starts thus far, averaging 3.2 runs per game. Now he has to face the Giants, who keep smashing righties, 7-5 to the first 5 over in their last 12 against an opposing right-handed pitcher, and they own the 5th best WRC plus against righties through the first 5 thus far. Add in that Mitch Haniger is coming back, so that's a nice boost to that lineup, and the fact that Woodford on the road has been pretty terrible as a starter, and I just think there's just way too much value in the Giants to pass up here, especially after a low-scoring affair yesterday. The Giants had bases loaded twice in the first 2 innings of the game and didn't score any runs. So I think that regression is going to come true today, and they should get an early lead.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like with the Cardinals bet. We were on the Cardinals last night, and it's not like we deserved to win and lost. It was just we had chances to win and didn't win.
Montgomery pitched his goddamn ass off. That's what I'm pissed about.
Yeah, he did. He was awesome. All right, so that's all 15. VIP tickets are already posted. Did you put a parlay on today?
I didn't have. Put 2 parlays and I put a hit parlay.
And you put a hit parlay, right? Oh, so yeah, a couple parlays in there. I actually didn't even see him. I'm gonna tail him though.
That's a good snap by Cole Beasley.
Oh shit, I have you muted. So yeah. NBA tickets up too. Let's have ourselves a good night. Last night, NBA ended up going green thanks to LeBron and the Lakers, but rough night for us on the baseball diamond. I think we went 1-1.
For the VIPs, I apologize. We started off insane on an insane kill spree, and it's slowed down and it sucked. But we're working hard every day to get back, and we will. The greens are coming. A big day is right around the corner. Can it be today?
Yeah, I mean, it's a 6-month season, 7-month season. We're gonna have plenty of ups and downs. So everyone have a great night. Let's win some money. Remember to bet responsibly. Hit me up on Twitter if you need anything, and also his Twitter name's there too, Prop Beaver.
If there was, by the way, I just want to say something real quick. I just want to give Toast a shout out too, right here. They asked any player props. If you want a Dinger Tuesday pick, I love what Toast put. He was talking about Jack Sawinski earlier at that plus 475 price. The dude just keeps mashing home runs, and Syndergaard really struggles against lefties. So I think that's insane value at that price. So good look by Toast there.
Didn't dude cash on Dinger Tuesday last time, Sawinski?
Yeah.
Because he came in the comments and said Dinger Tuesday. Hey, Jay Briggs, is that Jay from Twitter?
Yeah.
Oh, I've never seen his. There's usually there it is. There I see a picture next to. What's up, man? Didn't realize you were in the comments. You'll have to join us on the live.
Yeah, that'd be dope.
Yeah. All right. Everyone, have a good one. Let's have ourselves a good night. Enjoy your Tuesday. I'll be we're going to do the same thing we did last night. So tonight late, like 2-3 in the morning, I'll upload the stuff for tomorrow so we can get like early leans, and then we'll go live again tomorrow to go over the line movement. Same pattern. Have a good night.